The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a young man that got out of a cab and he realized that he left a book bag in the cab. But when he realized it was already too late. Light turned green and the cab sped off. What do you do now? He must have that bag back, and quickly. In that bag was found all the papers that he needs for his upcoming meeting that he was going to have in Tel Aviv. It's chaval now and every second. He has to find that cab quickly before it undertakes some new pickup, new trip. He doesn't know the details about the Nahag. He doesn't know the telephone number of the Chevres of the Munit taxi. He doesn't know the address of the office where he even has to have the meeting. The Etzim he could call. Another problem he has. His cell phone is in that bag too. Very nice. So maybe he can borrow somebody's cell phone and he can call his phone and it'll start to ring and the driver will hear the ring and he'll pay attention. Maybe he'll even answer. Or maybe not. Maybe it was on silent, a vibrate. So Mordechai walks into a public telephone booth and he starts to try to find the number of that chevra. Don't ask how, but he found the telephone number of the chevra. And after explanations, and they hang up on him, calling back, he even had the number of the nayag, the driver. Safe. Driver answers the phone. The guy asks him, do you see the tick in the back seat? He says, yes, I do. But I'm already far away from you. I'm heading to some yishuv in the south. He started to explain to him, he's forced to tell him about this important meeting I have in Tel Aviv. And push it. I have to wait 2.5 hours till come back. It's going to be mamish, who knows what. Well, besides, the wallet came back to the owner, and Mordechai opens up that little book bag, the bag, to make sure everything's in its place, and he looks to see the telephones that came into his phone. And they let him know he missed 14 missed calls. He called the voicemail. Now you call voicemail in Israel, in Hebrew, takoli. So whenever you're going to call Israel, a lot of times, I never knew what they were telling me. I just figured out it was voicemail. I could never figure out what is it. It's litah koli. It's 2 words. It's litah hakoli. Anyway, guy hit the thing, and after hearing the first one, his hair stands up on his head. Shalom, we're calling you from your school of your son. Yossi, we're now at our yearly trip in Midbar Yehuda, and your son disappeared. We're looking ready for him for 2 hours, and we can't find him. Please call back as soon as possible. Shalom, listen to the next call. Shalom, this is from the school. We found your son. He fell from a high place. He's laying in a ditch. Right now, we have no way of getting to him. We called the emergency people to come, try to get here, and miskasher to us as quickly as possible. The guy was starting to get hysterical. When he got the third message, Anna, please call us immediately. The helicopter is being delayed, and we're not sure about the situation of your kid. Please call immediately when you get this message. The next one was from his wife's cell phone. He hears her crying terribly. Mordechai, where are you? Did you hear what happened to Yossi? How come you don't answer, Mordechai? No. Next one was a call from his brother. Mordechai, pick the phone up now, Laman Hashem. It's not enough what's happened to Yossi. Now you also lost. You also disappeared. Call me immediately. We're going crazy over here. Mordechai goes to the next one. Now he's mamish, full of petrification. The guy's petrified. Who knows? What's he gonna hear next? The next call was a little more patient. Mordechai, shalom. Kan Zedjeki. I'm the head officer in the emergency services. your son is in the helicopter. We're on the way to Hadassah Ein Kerem, and he's not in critical. It's Beinoini, but it's stable. He's aware, he's not knocked out, and he makes a reshim, and he'll be beseder. No, the following calls will also, finally gets the last call, he picks it up, the last message. Abba, Zayasi, Zani, his son's on the phone. I got a little hurt in my foot. I need to say the governor, I'm all right. Please call me up. Tov, shalom. The kid, sir, he first decided to call back his wife. After called his wife, and he heard the whole story, and he got to the bottom of it. He said, this was an amazing lesson for me in life. My son disappears on a hike in the middle of the desert. They're all looking for him. They can't find him. After that, he fell off a cliff. And I'm the same thing. I thought that I was missing the biggest meeting I was supposed to have in my life. The first lesson I got is you got to look at things in the right proportions. Besides that, my Freya understood how it was developing to finally hearing this Gamzul Taiva and to hearing Am Shemayim they had Rahman Asami, and therefore I forgot my thing, my bag in the cab. You realize if I would have had my bag, I would have gone to the meeting. My phone would have started ringing. I would have picked it up. I would have been the most nervous wreck in the world for all those long hours. No. I was once in Eretz Yisrael, and I was there with our Talmud Andy. And Andy was going around, was doing a little touring by his own. He went to the old city of Yerushalayim, and outside the old city of Yerushalayim, there's this huge boatload of Arab camps. I don't go near that place with a 10-foot pole. I'd walk before I go near there. But in the chap, saw a bunch of cabs. He gets into a cab, takes a ride somewhere. No. In the middle of the ride, he took out his wallet. In his wallet, he had $3,000 cash. He had all his cards, all his papers. Finally, he came to the stop we had to be. He gets out of the cab, and a few minutes later, he realizes that he doesn't have his wallet. He left it in the cab. Somehow he got a hold of me. Maybe he came home to where I was staying. So Rabbi got to help me out. It says, Mama, shematzim tachuf ma'od. I'm going to be wiped out if I lose this wallet. It's just a test. First you say, I'm a Reb Meir. Hakol b'cheska sumeneim, until Hashem opens your eyes. It's not lost. Hashem is watching it for you in the camp of the Arabs. It's lost from the Arab. Hopefully the Arab doesn't know about it yet. Hashem didn't tell him. It's coming back home. I told me, mechazik bitochen, it's coming back to you. Meanwhile, we try to call a bunch of camp companies to find out which camp companies hang around that place by the old city, by the Arab camp companies. We called them up, and they would say, Inshallah, salam alaikum, alaikum assalam. They weren't talking Hebrew. They were talking Arabic. It was a nightmare. He couldn't remember. It was a Jewish company. It was not a Jew. What's the name of the company? He didn't know what companies. The Kitzer, so we have to say some Tillim, we have to be Beteach. Then, out of the blue, my daughter calls me from America. Hello, Ta? Yes. What are you calling for? Well, I just got a phone call. What do you mean got a phone call? Some guy was yapping away in Hebrew, and he was talking about a wallet. You know what he's talking about? I said, yes. You have his number? Yes, I have his number. What had happened? Some Jewish guy got into the cab, and he saw in the back seat a wallet. He figured if he leaves it here, this Arab's going to swallow it up. So he's going to put it in his pocket, take it home. He lived about 45 minutes from Yerushalayim. So he took it home to his little moshav there, wherever he was, takes out the wallet, doesn't say who the wallet belongs to, but it says a card, shows a card. It was Andy's business card. So the guy called the company. My daughter was there then, picking up the phone. My daughter picked up the phone, and the guy's yapping in Hebrew, and she said, Shalom, shalom. Lat, talk slowly. We've got to hear you clear. Israelis talk quick Hebrew sometimes. So finally she says, you know who this is? She says, yeah, that's my boss. So well, get a hold of him, tell him that I found his wallet, and it has everything in it. So I said, Andy, come over here, come over right now. Hashem's taking care of you. The wallet is back. Now, where's the wallet now? But it was 40 minutes away from Yerushalayim. It was like out in some shop somewhere. It doesn't make things easier. Don't worry, Hashem can take care of this also. So we called my other son-in-law, Shmeir, and Shmeir called his driver. He has a driver that drives for his yeshiva a lot of times. He calls him up, whatever the guy's name is, and he says, I need you to do a job for me. I need you to make a pickup for me. He said, where from? He said, Moshav, you're kidding. I'm passing on the highway right now, that Moshav, I can turn off right now, pick it up for you. He turned off the highway, picked it up, and they offered the guy $100 reward. The guy, one of these kippah shugagas, the guy said, Haz v'chalila, ani lo moher et ha-mitzvah shel ha-Shabbat ha-Neda b'shvil $100. I'm not selling this mitzvah for $100. I'm telling you, sell Kedeshimim, I'm telling you. I said, listen, you see Hashem, what are the chances of you getting the back? Hashem had to arrange another guy to get it, the kid. The guy had to arrange. Hashem showed you his hatava. Hashem showed you. And he wants to be made to the person. This was kedai, the whole thing. You lost your wallet. For Hashem to show you his koyach, that he can bring it back to you. And you can find yourself, and you use it as a lesson for the rest of your life.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org